What would you do if you saw a pregnant woman sleeping on a cold park bench with nowhere to go? Would you walk past her like everyone else? Or would you stop and change her life forever? If this story touches your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. We love hearing from you. So tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Lily Carter sat on the wooden park bench, her arms wrapped tightly around her swollen belly. The autumn wind cut through her thin jacket like tiny knives. She had not eaten anything warm in 3 days. Her stomach growled loudly, competing with the sound of children playing near the fountain. Those children had mothers who loved them. Those children had homes to return to when the sun went down. Lily was 23 years old, but she felt ancient. Her brown hair hung in tangles around her pale face. Dark circles shadowed her eyes from countless sleepless nights. Her shoes had holes in them, and her jacket was torn at the shoulder from when she tried to sleep behind a dumpster 2 nights ago. A mean dog had chased her away, ripping her clothes as she ran. Just 6 months earlier, everything had been different. Lily worked 2 jobs at a diner during the day and cleaned offices at night. She studied at community college whenever she could, dreaming of becoming a teacher. She wanted to help children learn to read, to open their minds to wonderful stories and adventures. Then she met Ryan. Ryan had a beautiful smile and said all the right things. He told Lily she was special. He promised they would build a life together. He said he would never leave her side. Lily believed every word because she desperately wanted them to be true. When Lily discovered she was pregnant, she felt scared but also excited. She imagined a tiny baby with Ryan's eyes and her smile. She pictured reading bedtime stories and teaching their child to ride a bicycle. She rushed home to tell Ryan the news, her heart beating with nervous joy. Ryan's face turned white when she told him. His kind smile disappeared like smoke in the wind. "No," he said, shaking his head. No, no, no. I am not ready for this. I never wanted a kid." Lily felt her world crack open. "But, Ryan, we can do this together. We love each other." Ryan grabbed his jacket. "You are on your own, Lily. I am done." He walked out the door of their tiny apartment and never came back. The next morning, Lily discovered something even worse. She checked their joint bank account to see how much money she had for doctor visits and baby supplies. The account was empty, completely empty. Ryan had taken every single dollar they had saved together. $3,000 gone. Without Ryan's half of the rent money, Lily could not pay for their apartment. She begged her landlord, Mr. Harrison, for more time. He was a short man with a round belly and cruel eyes. He laughed at her and said, "Your problems are not my problems. You have 1 week, or your stuff goes on the street." Lily called her mother, hoping for help. Her mother said, "I told you Ryan was no good. You made your bed, now you sleep in it." Then she hung up the phone. Lily called her 2 best friends from high school. One did not answer. The other said she was too busy to help. 1 week later, just as Mr. Harrison promised, Lily's belongings sat in boxes on the sidewalk. Her bed, her clothes, her books, everything. Neighbors walked past, staring but not helping. By evening, most of her things were stolen. Lily sat on the curb and cried until she had no tears left. That was 6 weeks ago. Since then, Lily had been living in Riverside Park. She slept under a large oak tree that gave some shelter from rain. She washed her face in the public bathroom and tried to keep clean. She searched for jobs, but no one wanted to hire a pregnant woman with no address and torn clothes. She ate whatever she could find. Leftover sandwiches from trash cans, half-eaten apples, crackers from the food pantry that only opened on Thursdays. The baby inside her kept growing. Lily could feel tiny kicks against her ribs. Each kick reminded her that she was not just responsible for herself anymore. She had to protect this little life, but she did not know how. On this particular Tuesday afternoon, Lily felt more tired than ever before. Her back ached. Her feet were swollen. She had walked all morning looking for work, filling out applications at fast food restaurants and grocery stores. Everyone said no. One manager looked at her belly and said, "Come back after you have the baby." But Lily would have the baby in 3 months. What was she supposed to do until then? She returned to her bench in the park, the one under the oak tree near the pond. This bench had become her home. She knew every crack in the wood, every chip in the green paint. She laid down, using her backpack as a pillow, and closed her eyes. Maybe if she slept, she would stop feeling so hungry and scared. The sound of footsteps on gravel woke her. Lily opened her eyes to see expensive black leather shoes standing next to her bench. She looked up slowly, squinting against the afternoon sun. A tall man, in a perfectly tailored navy blue suit, stood looking down at her. He had kind eyes and black hair touched with gray at the temples. He carried a leather briefcase that probably cost more than Lily had earned in a year. He looked like he belonged in a fancy office building, not in a park talking to a homeless pregnant woman. "Are you all right?" the man asked softly. Lily sat up quickly, embarrassed. "I am fine. I was just resting." The man looked at her torn jacket, her dirty clothes, her swollen belly. His expression was not mean or disgusted like other people's faces. Instead, he looked sad and concerned. "When did you last eat?" he asked. Lily's stomach answered for her, with a loud rumble. She felt her cheeks turn red. "I am managing," she lied. The man set down his briefcase and sat on the bench beside her. "My name is James Park, and I think you need help." James reached into his suit pocket and pulled out his phone. "There's a cafe across the street. Will you let me buy you lunch? Please. I can see you are hungry, and I promise I am not a dangerous person. I just want to help." Lily hesitated. She had learned not to trust people. Ryan had seemed kind too, at first, but her stomach ached with hunger, and the baby inside her needed food. She nodded slowly. They walked together to a small cafe called Rosie's Kitchen. The wonderful smell of fresh bread and soup made Lily's mouth water. James held the door open for her. Inside, the cafe was warm and cozy. Other customers stared at Lily in her dirty clothes, but James ignored them completely. "Order anything you want," James said gently. "Anything at all." Lily ordered tomato soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, and orange juice. When the food arrived, she tried to eat slowly like a polite person, but she was so hungry that she could not help eating quickly. The warm soup felt like medicine going down her throat. The sandwich tasted better than anything she had eaten in weeks. James ordered coffee for himself but did not drink it. He just watched Lily eat with a small, sad smile on his face. "What is your name?" he asked. Lily Carter." "How long have you been living in the park, Lily?" Lily put down her spoon. She did not want to talk about it, but something about James made her feel safe. Maybe it was his kind eyes. Maybe it was because he was the first person in weeks to treat her like a human being instead of trash on the street. 6 weeks, she whispered. "My boyfriend left me when he found out about the baby. He took all our money. I could not pay rent. My landlord threw me out. My family will not help me. I have nowhere to go." James was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "I know what it feels like to have nowhere to go." Lily looked up, surprised. This man in his expensive suit knew about being homeless? James continued, "When I was 7 years old, my mother and I were homeless too. My father had died in a car accident, and we had no money. My mother worked as a maid, but she did not earn enough for an apartment. We slept in our old car for 8 months. Lily's eyes grew wide. "What happened?" "One cold winter night, a woman named Grace found us sleeping in our car in a parking lot. She was a nurse who worked at the hospital nearby. She knocked on our window and told my mother she had an empty apartment above her garage. She said we could live there for free until my mother saved enough money." James's eyes got shiny with tears, but he smiled. Grace did not have to help us. She was not rich, but she saw people who needed help, and she chose to be kind. She changed our lives completely. My mother got a better job. I went to a good school. I worked hard, went to college, and started my own technology company. Now I have more money than I ever dreamed of. "That is an amazing story," Lily said. James leaned forward. "But here is the important part, Lily. Before Grace died 5 years ago, she made me promise something. She said, 'Pay it forward.' She said, 'When you see someone who needs help the way you once needed help, you help them. No questions asked. Just help.' Lily felt tears running down her cheeks. Why are you telling me this? Because when I saw you on that park bench, I saw my mother. I saw myself as a little boy. I saw people who needed help. James pulled a business card from his wallet and wrote something on the back. I own several apartment buildings in this city. I have a furnished 2-bedroom apartment that is sitting empty right now. The address is on this card. It is yours if you want it. Lily stared at the card like it might disappear if she blinked. I cannot pay rent. I have no money at all. I am not asking for rent, James said firmly. I am giving you a safe place to live. The apartment has furniture, dishes, everything you need. You can stay there as long as you need to. Have your baby. Get back on your feet. No pressure. No payment required. But why? Lily asked, her voice shaking. Why would you do this for a complete stranger? Because Grace did it for my mother. Because every person deserves dignity and a safe place to sleep. Because your baby deserves to come into a world where someone cares. James smiled. And honestly, Lily, because helping you makes me feel like my success actually means something. Money sitting in a bank account is just numbers. But money that helps another human being, that is real wealth. Lily could not speak. She just cried and cried. But these were different tears than the ones she had cried for weeks. These were tears of relief and hope. James was not finished. My aunt, Dr. Sandra Mitchell, is a baby doctor. She will take care of you and make sure you and the baby are healthy. All appointments are free. I already called her from the cafe counter while you were eating. She can see you tomorrow. I do not know what to say, Lily whispered. Say yes, James replied. Say you will accept help. Say you will give yourself and your baby a chance at a better life. Lily looked into James's kind eyes and saw nothing but honest goodness. Yes, she said. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. That very afternoon, James drove Lily to the apartment. It was in a nice neighborhood with trees lining the streets. The building was clean and well maintained. James led her to apartment number 12 on the second floor. When he opened the door, Lily gasped. The apartment was beautiful. It had a cozy living room with a soft couch and a television. The kitchen had a refrigerator already stocked with food. There were 2 bedrooms. One had a regular bed with clean sheets that smelled like lavender. The other bedroom was smaller, perfect for a baby. The baby's room, James said, showing her the second bedroom. You can decorate it however you like. If you need anything, a crib, baby clothes, diapers, just make a list and let me know. Lily walked through the apartment, touching everything gently, as if it might vanish like a dream. She turned on the sink and watched clean water flow. She opened the refrigerator and saw milk, eggs, bread, fruit, and vegetables. She sat on the couch and felt how soft it was. Is this real? She asked James. This is really happening? It is absolutely real, James said. This is your home now, Lily. You are safe here. After James left, Lily locked the door and stood in the middle of the living room. For the first time in 6 weeks, she was not cold. She was not scared. She was not hungry. She walked to the bathroom and took a long, hot shower, washing away weeks of dirt and fear. She put on clean clothes that James had left for her in the bedroom closet. She made herself a sandwich with fresh bread and ate it slowly, savoring every bite. That night, Lily slept in a real bed with clean sheets and a warm blanket. She placed her hand on her belly and whispered to her baby, "We are going to be okay. Someone kind helped us. We are safe now. I promise I will make a good life for you." The next morning, Lily went to see Dr. Sandra Mitchell. The doctor was a warm woman with gentle hands and a bright smile. She examined Lily and the baby carefully. "Your baby is healthy and strong," Dr. Sandra said. "But you are very thin, Lily. You need to eat more nutritious food and take these vitamins every day. Your baby needs you to be healthy, too." Lily promised she would. Over the next few weeks, Lily began to transform. She ate healthy meals. She took her vitamins. She rested in her safe, warm apartment. Color returned to her cheeks. The dark circles under her eyes faded. She started to look alive again. James visited once a week to check on her. He never made her feel like a charity case. He treated her like a friend. He brought groceries and asked about her dreams. "I want to finish college," Lily told him one day. "I want to become a teacher." "Then you will?" James said, "After the baby comes and you are ready, we will figure out how to make that happen." Lily also started taking free online classes from her apartment. She studied early childhood education. She read books about being a good mother. She felt her strength and hope growing every single day. But then, 3 months later, something happened that tested everything Lily had learned about forgiveness and moving forward. Lily was 7 months pregnant when she heard the knock on her apartment door. She was studying for an online exam, sitting comfortably on her couch with a cup of tea beside her. The baby kicked inside her, and she smiled, rubbing her belly gently. When she opened the door, her smile disappeared instantly. Ryan stood in the hallway. He looked terrible. His clothes were wrinkled and dirty. His hair was messy, and he had dark circles under his eyes, just like Lily used to have. He looked thin and tired, as if life had been very hard on him. "Lily," he said, his voice shaking, "I have been looking for you everywhere." Lily's heart started beating fast, but not from love or excitement. She felt angry and scared. This was the man who had abandoned her when she needed him most. This was the man who had stolen their money and left her homeless and alone. "What do you want, Ryan?" she asked coldly, keeping her hand on the door, ready to close it. "I made a terrible mistake," Ryan said, tears forming in his eyes. "I was scared and stupid. I should never have left you. Please, Lily, can we talk? I want to be part of the baby's life. I want us to be a family." Lily looked at him carefully. A few months ago, she would have been so happy to hear these words. She would have forgiven him immediately and welcomed him back with open arms. But she was not that desperate, broken girl anymore. "Where have you been, Ryan?" she asked. "Where were you when I was sleeping on park benches? Where were you when I was hungry and scared? Where were you when I needed you most?" Ryan looked down at his feet. "I know I messed up. I spent all the money on stupid things, gambling and partying with friends. I lost my job. I have been living with my brother, but he kicked me out last week. I have nothing, Lily. I need you." And there it was, the truth. Ryan did not come back because he loved her or wanted to be a father. He came back because he was in trouble and needed someone to take care of him. Lily felt something powerful rise up inside her chest. It was strength. It was self-respect. It was a knowledge that she deserved better than this. "No, Ryan," she said firmly, "you do not get to come back now. You made your choice when you walked out that door. I begged you to stay, and you left me with nothing. I survived without you. My baby and I are going to have a good life, and you are not part of it. But I am the father." Ryan protested. "A father is someone who stays," Lily said. "A father is someone who helps and supports and loves. You are just a man who ran away when things got hard. My child deserves better than that." Ryan's face turned angry. "You cannot keep me from my own kid." "Watch me," Lily said. "If you want to be part of this baby's life, you can talk to my lawyer. But you will not just show up and pretend to be a good person when you need something. Now leave, or I will call the police." Ryan stared at her, shocked. This was not the same Lily he had left behind. This Lily was strong and confident. This Lily knew her worth. He turned and walked away without another word. Lily closed the door and locked it. Her hands were shaking, but she felt proud of herself. She had stood up for herself and her baby. She had not let Ryan back into her life just because she was lonely or scared. She had chosen herself and her child over a man who did not deserve them. 2 months later, on a sunny morning in May, Lily gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She named her Emma Grace Carter. Emma, because Lily loved the name. Grace, in honor of the woman who had helped James and his mother so many years ago. James visited the hospital the day Emma was born. He brought flowers for Lily and a soft pink teddy bear for the baby. He held little Emma in his arms and smiled down at her tiny face. "She is perfect," he whispered. "She is," Lily agreed, tears of joy running down her cheeks. "And she is going to have a wonderful life. I promise." Over the next year, Lily worked harder than she had ever worked before. She took care of Emma, finished her online college courses, and graduated with a degree in early childhood education. James helped her get a job at a good preschool where she could bring Emma with her. But Lily wanted to do more. She remembered what it felt like to be hopeless and alone. She remembered sleeping on that park bench, wondering if she and her baby would survive. She wanted to help other women who were going through the same nightmare. With James's support and guidance, Lily started a nonprofit organization called Grace's Place. It was a shelter and support center for pregnant homeless women. The center provided safe apartments, medical care, job training, and emotional support. Everything Lily had received, she now gave to others. The first woman Lily helped was named Sophia. Sophia was 19 years old, scared, and living in her car. Lily met her at the same park where James had found her 2 years earlier. When Lily saw Sophia sleeping on a bench, she felt like she was looking at herself in the past. "Hi," Lily said gently, sitting down beside Sophia. "My name is Lily. Are you okay?" Sophia looked at her with frightened eyes, the same way Lily had looked at James. And just like James, Lily said the magic words that changed everything. "I can help you. Will you let me?" Sophia started crying and nodded. Lily helped Sophia the same way James had helped her. She gave her a safe place to live, connected her with doctors, and helped her prepare for her baby. 6 months later, Sophia had a healthy baby boy and a job at a bakery. She was doing well. After Sophia, there was Maria, then Jennifer, then Katie, then so many others. Each woman had a different story, but they all had the same need for safety, dignity, and hope. Lily helped them all. Grace's Place grew bigger and stronger. Newspapers wrote articles about Lily's work. Television stations interviewed her. People donated money to support the shelter. Local businesses offered jobs to the mothers who came through the program. 3 years after that day in the park, Lily stood on a stage at Community Center. She was receiving an award for her nonprofit work. The room was filled with people clapping and cheering. James sat in the front row, smiling proudly. Little Emma, now 3 years old, sat on his lap, clapping her tiny hands. But the people Lily was most proud to see were in the second row. Sophia, Maria, Jennifer, Katie, and 15 other women she had helped. They were all there with their healthy, happy children. They were all doing well, living in their own apartments, working at jobs, building futures. Lily spoke into the microphone, her voice clear and strong. 3 years ago, I was sleeping on a park bench with nowhere to go. I was scared, hungry, and alone. I thought my life was over. But then a kind stranger named James Park stopped and helped me. He did not have to. He did not know me. But he chose compassion over convenience. He chose to see me as a human being worthy of dignity and respect. She looked at James and smiled. James taught me that one person's kindness can change everything. He taught me that wealth is not about how much money you have. Real wealth is about how many lives you touch, how much love you give, and how much hope you create. The audience clapped loudly. Lily continued, "I started Grace's Place because I want every scared, pregnant, homeless woman to know that she is not alone. I want her to know that someone cares. I want her to know that her life matters, and her baby's life matters. One act of kindness saved me. Now I want to pass that kindness forward, again and again, creating a chain of hope that never ends." After the ceremony, James walked over to Lily. Emma held Lily's hand, looking up at her mother with adoring eyes. "I am so proud of you," James said. "You took a terrible situation and turned it into something beautiful." "I learned from the best," Lily replied, hugging him tightly. "Thank you, James. Thank you for seeing me when I was invisible. Thank you for helping me when everyone else walked past. You saved my life." James shook his head gently. "No, Lily, you saved your own life. I just gave you a chance. You did all the hard work. You chose to heal. You chose to grow. You chose to help others. That was all you." Little Emma tugged on Lily's dress. "Mommy, can we get ice cream?" Lily laughed and picked up her daughter, spinning her around. "Yes, sweetheart, we can get ice cream." As they walked out of the community center together, Lily thought about how far she had come, from a broken, homeless girl to a strong woman helping others. From sleeping on a cold park bench to running a successful nonprofit, from feeling worthless to knowing her life had profound meaning and purpose. She thought about Ryan sometimes, but without anger or sadness. He had made his choice, and she had made hers. He had chosen to run away. She had chosen to stay and fight for a better life. That night, after Emma was asleep in her bed, Lily sat by the window of their apartment and looked out at the stars. She thought about Grace, the woman who had helped James and his mother all those years ago. Grace had probably never imagined that her one act of kindness would create such a ripple effect, touching so many lives across generations. Lily whispered into the quiet night, "Thank you, Grace. Your kindness lives on. I promise to keep paying it forward, helping one person at a time, creating hope where there's despair." And she did. For the rest of her life, Lily continued helping homeless pregnant women through Grace's Place. Hundreds of women and children were given second chances because one man in a blue suit stopped at a park bench and chose compassion. Years later, when Emma was grown, she asked her mother, "What is the most important lesson you ever learned?" Lily smiled and said, "That kindness is the most powerful force in the world. One person choosing to help another person can change everything. Never walk past someone who needs help. Never ignore suffering when you have the power to ease it. And always, always remember that giving hope to others is the greatest gift you can offer." Emma nodded, understanding. She too would grow up to help others, continuing the legacy of kindness that Grace had started so many years ago. Sometimes the universe sends us angels when we need them most. Sometimes those angels wear expensive suits and carry leather briefcases. Sometimes they stop at park benches and ask simple questions like, "Are you all right?" And sometimes those simple moments of compassion change the entire course of history, one life at a time. Have you ever been helped by a stranger when you needed it most? Have you ever stopped to help someone who is struggling? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else to choose kindness today. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs hope. Remember, compassion, not wealth, creates lasting change in our world. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, creates ripples that spread farther than we can imagine. Like, share and subscribe for more inspiring true stories that restore your faith in humanity. Together, we can build a world where no one suffers alone.